this tutorial, we're going to learn how to create a graffiti in Photoshop. So let's go to File, New, open up our workspace. And here I'm going to choose a font or font family. And I'm going to just type in, breakdance. Alright, so there we have it. It's a little big, so I'm going to get out of this, go to my character panel, reduce the size, bring it up a little bit more. And what's really important here is the font. So you just cannot choose any font if you want it to really look like a graffiti. So I'm going to start off with this font, but eventually end up with another one that's called Joker Man. There's the Joker Man. And I'm going to reduce the size so the font fits perfectly. Alright, there it is. And just like that, I am going to use the tracking just a little bit to separate the letters or bring them even closer to each other, like so. Increase the size again, and there I have it. So let's say this is what we want to work with, and we're going to add a graffiti look to it. Graffiti is primarily just the paint and a grading of paint, actually, several colors mixed together to give you that graffiti look. So now that we have our text the way we want it, I'm going to go to the text layer, click on the control button on my keyboard, keep it down, and I'm going to left click from my mouse, and I get the marching ants. From the marching ants, I'm going to create a new layer. So I'm going to come down here to create a new layer, or where it says create new layer, I'm going to click on that icon and create a new layer. Here is the new layer. Make sure you're on this layer and turn off your text layer, and then you end up with just the marching ants. The next thing you do here is to go to your tool panel, click on the gradient tool. I previously created a graffiti look that I wanted. So here it is right here. And I'm going to click over there, and this is what it looks like. And you can change the different gradients in here by just actually clicking on this and changing the gradient tool accordingly, as you see here. Give it that reggae kind of style, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to leave mine the way it is. I'm quite happy with this. I'm going to click OK. Now, to put that gradient into the marching ants, what you want to do is to just place your cursor at the top. It can be anywhere at the top over here. Place it at the top over here, for example. Click and drag downwards to the end of the letter and release, and automatically, you see that? It's created just like that. Once you're happy with the way it is, you can click on the move tool. Sorry, I'm going to click in this case on the rectangular tool and click on the stage to make sure my marching ants disappear. I'm left with this, and it's not so illustrious. I wanted to make sure that you can see the actual contour to be able to read what it is typing out here in the graffiti style. And to do that, you want to add an effect. Now, the effect you're going to add can either be a drop shadow, which will give you something like this, or you can add a stroke, which will make it look like this instead. And if we're using a stroke, we can change the color of the stroke. By default, Photoshop gives you red, but we can change the color of the stroke by just clicking here and choosing another color on the screen to make it look like this, as it is now. Or we could just go up here in our color wheel and choose black. Once you've chosen black, well, you can come back to the stroke and you can choose the stroke structure. By clicking and dragging, that black contour becomes big, just like this, as you can see here. And once you're happy with that, well, it's just a matter of saying OK, and there you have your graffiti. Now you can take this by turning off, let's say, your background, and now you can move this. I'm going to click the move tool. You can move this onto any page you want, or any flyer that you're working with. And in a nutshell, that's how you create a graffiti.